Hello, this is Hypixel Skyblock Academy, and this is how to create a better lowballer. So, how does one become a better lowballer? Or how does one transitions from not knowing the market economy at all to knowing the market economy and being able to offer fair prices without anyone leaving? So, first off, the hardest part about being a lowballer is that you're a lowballer. I mean, the hardest part is nobody really likes you. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. This is because of three reasons. One, lowballers spam in lobbies. Two, they offer bad prices. And three, they don't understand the market. So, why are these three things problems? I mean, if you're a lowballer and you do all of these things, you spam in lobbies, you offer bad prices, and you don't understand the market, sometimes when somebody comes up to you who also does not know the market and gives you like a 40 mil item, and since you don't know the market, you just offer 10 mil and you somehow get it, that's good for you, right? That's very good for you. But the one problem is that only works like 0.1% of the time. And usually this benefits you, but a lot of the times people just leave your island because, of course, you give a really shit offer and you don't make profit. So that's the thing. Becoming a good lowballer is beneficial for you and the seller. You, the buyer, and the seller. It's beneficial for both of you. So, how is not spamming in lobbies beneficial for you as a lowballer? This is useful because, first, no mutes. Mutes are a lowballer's bane. If you get muted for like, 14 days or 30 days, then that's it. You can't really lowball for that span of time. And trust me, I've spammed in a lobby before, and I've gotten muted for 14 and then consecutively 30 days. So that's good for you. Try to keep spamming at a minimum. And concisely and eye-catchingly, put everything you want to put in your message to spam in Hub 1 if you want. 2. Offer bad prices. I mean, this is kind of obvious. Nobody really likes lowballers because they offer bad prices. Most people think you're greedy. So that's your job. You have to offer good prices. The reason why also is because first, you're making profit, but you won't make profit 100% of the time if you're not rational. You have to offer good prices, but also be willing to negotiate. And also have to understand the market through negotiating. You have to know how much profit you're making and how much you have to pay in taxes or other factors. If you offer, say, 33 mil on a high demand item and the person does not take it, that's entirely your fault. So eventually, you're going to have to offer better prices. If you don't want to, that's up to you as a lowballer. But what I've noticed is that people who offer better prices and make smaller profit margins, although those profit margins still have to benefit you, of course. Like, for example, on a 44 mil item, you're not going to get 1 mil profit. You're going to make at least 10 mil profit, or maybe even 7 mil if it's worth over 100 mil. Sorry, Future Skyblock Academy here. I meant 10% and 7%, not 10 mil and 7 mil. Now back to the video. But the thing is, if you want to make the most profit through lowballing, you have to make the best margins. You have to offer the best price for both of your guys' profit. And as bad as this sounds, you have to take this into account. Of course, that doesn't go without saying that you also have to take into account time and properly explain why this thing isn't going to sell, or properly explain why you're giving a higher lowball on it. And that's why you need to understand the market. Again, you need to know step number 3 to understand step number 2. You need to understand the market. And how do you do this? So, to understand the market, you are able to, again, I'm saying, offer a fair price. You are able to analyze the market. And you're able to bring something positive to both you and the buyer. So these three things, or three subsettings, or subsets, whatever, are basically part of step number 3. Although a lot of this may sound similar to step number 2 and 3, they're kind of subcategories. So if you offer fair price, if you do understand the market, you're able to offer a fair price, which is what I already said in the second point. But you're able to offer a fair price for yourself. So what does this mean? For example, you have a market manipulated book and somebody gives that to you. If you don't understand the market, you are not able to get a fair price for yourself and instead benefit the buyer only, which ties into step number 3. But basically, if you offer too much on a book and they just immediately respond, it's market manipulated. I already made a video on it, but you're not able to get a fair price for yourself. And that's the main goal as lowballers. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to understand the market first. So to get a fair price for yourself and to offer a fair price, you need to know how to analyze the market. So if a drill engine that's worth 70 mil is being sold to you, you need to know if it'll sell or not. And usually it'll take a couple days to sell. But if you offer 10% on it, the person would be overjoyed. They would probably obviously accept. But it won't benefit you in the long run because you're making only 10% profit for you to wait a couple days for it to sell. And that's just 70 mil in the auction house. And second, if you're offering 33%, the seller's obviously going to say no. So you have to find the perfect balance in between, like 20 to 15%. So that's why you need to analyze the market, to know if something will sell or not, to know if something is in demand or not, or to know if the seller won't just leave your island immediately, right? And third of all, the buyer has to have an equal tie to the seller. You guys both have to benefit. And the best way to do this is to follow all of these sets and subsets. So why should you, as a buyer, be equal to the seller? So obviously, it's your job as a money-making method, as a buyer, to I guess, do your job well, to do it the most efficiently. And I said at the start, when I tell you that lowballers who offer a little bit smaller margins, like 10% on cheap items rather than 15% of cheap items, usually get more people going to them. They usually get more buys. They buy more things. They're able to make more profit in the long run. And it would also benefit the seller because they would stay on your island. And sometimes, if you have a good seller, then your name gets kind of, I'm not saying this really just to like exclaim it out loud, but you kind of get renowned, you know? People recognize you more. People trust you more, you know? Especially if in Skyblock Z, you get a lot of reoccurring customers, or I guess sellers. And this is also so that you understand that you're making the most profit and you're making the most time out of your money. So, how do you, well, lastly, how do you accomplish all of these? So that's the second part of our video. This is the second part. To accomplish all of these, it only takes practice. So if you have 100 mil purse, let's say, less than 100 mil purse, or 100 to 500 mil purse, or 500 mil plus purse. Let's explore all three options. So how do you accomplish all of these goals if you have these three types of purses? So 100 mil or less. Firstly, you're going to want to take items for 10 to 20 mil around. you don't want to take items more than that. Maybe you want to take an item that's 100 mil if you know it's guaranteed profit, but you want to take items that are less than 20 mil to 20 mil. This is because if you have one item selling, you won't really gain as much experience because you want to know what will sell or what will not sell according to the experience you gain. So that when you have 500 mil or more, you're able to deduce what is selling and what's not selling so that you become the most effective lowballer and you're able to offer the best price margins and etc. Everything I said before. And you want some auction flipping experience. So you want to auction flip as well on the side. So you know what's selling or not. You have to become a better lowballer. And by the way, I'm not making this video because of spite of lowballers or anything. I of course want to make everybody the best they can. I want to make people money. This is why it's called Skyblock Academy. And as I guess a lowballer who I think has accomplished all of these perks, I guess, or skills, I feel like this makes me the most money. And especially, you can say no thank you if you want to anything. I'm probably gonna make this a highlight of the video. You can say no thank you if you want. Especially if it's like, if you know it's market manipulated, or if you know it's not gonna sell, or if you know that the profit, or if I guess the person is asking more than it's worth, or more than it's worth your time. Of course, you're gonna say no, and it's fine to. And that's also what makes a good lowballer, to know if you're getting, I guess, scammed or not, you know, if you're making the most profit. But you want to accept as much stuff as possible according to percentages, time to sell, and factors like that. So yeah, that's for 100 mil purse. For 100 to 500 mil purse, you want to accept items that are over 10 mil, and even like up to 100 mil, you know? You want to accept items up to 100 mil. I mean, that's kind of valid, right? You kind of already know what's going to sell or not. And now it's time for you to go into bigger leagues, like flipping items with Master Stars, or flipping level 100, like maybe Ender Dragons or whatever, you know? And when you get to 500 mil, you can basically do whatever you want. Because I'm betting if you have 500 mil, you already know what to do. You already know how to make the best profit. You already know how to get the most items. You know how to, I guess, persuade the person into selling it for less. And yeah. So this is what makes a good lowballer. Again, I'm going to say this as a conclusion. What makes a good lowballer is the ability to understand how prices and the market works. What makes a good lowballer is a lowballer that is willing to take as many items as possible while factoring in the time it takes to sell and the percentages they put in. For example, if nobody understands me so far, so you're not going to offer 35 mil on a Necron chestplate that's worth 44 mil, obviously. This is because most people won't accept that. Only like the top 1% will probably accept that, right? And since no one will accept that, you won't make the most profit. And if you keep doing this, you won't make any profit at all. If you offer 33% to 20% on high demand items, you're not going to make any profit. That's why I'm making this video, so that you make the most profit. Again, I keep repeating this, but this is why I'm making it. So the lowballer who's able to deduce what's the best percentage for the time. Also, they're able to factor in taxes and take the most items. Basically, that's really it. So some of these points might be controversial, but if you're able to accomplish all of these, then you'll become a good lowballer. By taking all of these into account, with a 1 bill purse round, I've already made like 400 to 600 mil this week, if not more, and I plan on doing the same. I plan on using all of these to make more profit, and I consistently see people with the same purse every day. For example, some guy with like a 300 mil purse, you'll see nothing on his auction selling. You'll see nothing on his auction selling, and he's gonna keep going around every day with a 300 mil purse because he's not offering on anything. He doesn't know how to check values. He doesn't know how to offer on things. Everybody leaves, etc. And for me, I consider myself an okay lowballer. I mean, that's why I made this channel. Um, I've made so much profit already because my auction slots are always full because I know what to offer, and I know how to persuade people. You need to know how to persuade people as well. You need to be able to explain why you're taking all of these percentages, I guess, and you need to know how to do math. That's the big part as well. So, as a lowballer, try to keep these into account. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you want to keep making the profit that you think you're making, then that's fine. However, as for me, I've found out that these are the qualities that make a lowballer the best that they can.